Will, and today I'm going to make a video about the effects of testosterone that took me by surprise. So for the record, I am now 2 years and 10 months on T, and I did a ton of research, but there were still a few things that surprised me, and I thought I'd talk about them a bit today to let people know that you might not always know what's going to happen, and maybe if other people are trying to prepare, they'll understand that these things could happen to them too. So the first thing is acne. So, I mean, I knew I was going to get acne. That's definitely a side effect I knew about. But one thing that I wasn't prepared for was the fact that it would hurt. My acne never used to hurt. I didn't never get a lot of it either, so that was probably part of it. But now, like, my pimples, they hurt so much. And the second thing that surprised me about acne was that I get it everywhere. I only ever used to get it on my hairline and my head, and occasionally on my cheeks, and now it's, all over my face, my head, my back, my chest, and even sometimes, like, my arms and legs. So that was weird. The second would be the sweating. I knew I was going to sweat more, but I guess I wasn't really prepared for how much I was going to sweat, and the fact that, like, it would be, like, dripping in my eyes, like, making it hard to see sweat now when I work out or when I'm working, because I work in a kitchen. And also that my sweat would, I knew it was going to smell more, but it really, really does, and that's something that I had to learn after realizing I was out, and even though I put deodorant on, I smelled so much. So now I use extra strength deodorant, Arm & Hammer Clinical Strength, and I also carry another deodorant in my backpack with me. So sometimes I'm at school or something and I'm like, wow, I need a little bit more. So you might want to consider that. The third one is probably the hardest to describe, and it's just being dopier, is how my endocrinologist explained it. And I would definitely agree that while I'm not, like, any less intelligent than I was before, I'm definitely a lot dopier. I forget things, like, I forget to do things. I kind of take longer to connect the dots sometimes when people are talking. Common sense seems to be a little less there, which I always thought was more of a social thing than an actual, like, hormonal thing, which is why I didn't really believe my endocrinologist when he told me about this, but apparently it is just a thing that happens and has been difficult to adjust to for me, and frustrating sometimes, not just for me, but also for my partner. The fourth would be mood. I mean, teenagers are moody, and we hear that all the time, but I just assumed since I was no longer 13 when I started T, I started at 18, I thought I was done with that. I thought I was done with feeling, like, frustrated at the world and not really being able to explain why I felt frustrated, but I wasn't, and that persisted. And actually, at my 6-month appointment, I was talking to my endocrinologist, and he asked me, oh, are you still with your girlfriend? And I was like, yep. And he was like, yeah, that's actually surprising, because a lot of relationships end in the first 6 months, for 6 to 9 months, because the moodiness and everything and the changes in your emotion can be too hard to get through in a relationship, especially if you don't understand what's happening, and we definitely didn't. And we were struggling for sure, and part of us, I think, thought that, like, maybe this is just what it is now, and I wasn't even relating it to testosterone. I was just relating it to, like, maybe we don't get along anymore, and maybe this is the way it's going. But after hearing that, like, no, sometimes your hormones are making you like a 13-year-old again, except you're not now. You're, whatever age you are. So after that, I think I was a little better at dealing with it, and, it went away. I think after, like, 9-10 months, that was gone. I wasn't this, like, ball of frustration and emotions and stuff. And the fifth is confidence. I am unbelievably more confident now than I ever was before, and I think that just comes along with finally being comfortable in my own skin, or relatively comfortable in my own skin. I mean, before testosterone, I never really even spoke without first, like, rehearsing in my mind what I was going to say. I was really uncomfortable in new situations, I didn't have a lot of self-confidence. I never would believe that people would find me attractive. It's still something I'm struggling with, but I find it a lot easier now. I had a hard time making eye contact. I don't think I ever used to really make eye contact with people. I used to always just kind of look beyond them or beside them. Carrying on casual conversations were all really difficult, and now it's not. I mean, I made friends with my coworkers pretty quickly and can carry on conversations with them. I don't have to think about everything before I say it. I can just talk like a normal person. And yeah, it's just this level of confidence that I never had before. Though for a while there, I think I would have been a little too confident. I think around like 6 to 9 months, I was like, thought I was really hot shit. And I don't know if that's really like a bad thing or not, but it probably was a little obnoxious of me. And now it's kind of leveled out, and I realize that like I can be confident without being an asshole. Not that I think I was ever like a huge dick, but yeah, I was a little bit like cocky, I guess, like walking around like. But I think it was just finally feeling some type of confidence was amazing, and yeah, it's incredible to finally feel happy being able to just exist in this world without having to always second guess myself. So yeah, that's my video about my top 5 most surprising effects of testosterone. I would love it if anyone wanted to comment or send me a message about the surprising effects of testosterone that they experienced, because I find it really interesting, and I think that the more we all kind of talk about the things that surprised us, the more it will help educate people who are starting. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I apologize that I think it's really dark, but it's cloudy outside and I live in a basement suite, and we only have like 3 light bulbs that are not burnt out, so yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in a bit. Bye.